7, 6, 15,
Skill rate
40.
-1.
That would be the Thunderbirds intro. It was done by drunk guy. It's like
Minus I squared.
685. 2 Thunderbirds are I guess
Go.
or stay.
Thunderbirds go.
Hmm?
That's how you say.
Just having a regular ass brand, and today is another episode of the most unprofessional podcast on the entire internet, Radio Rothingham. We got ourselves a full cast. We have
Holy
Yes.
cast.
we got the Holy cast. We got
Very, very holy.
we got Astra, the Astra.
Hello.
We got the one and only Bakphoon.
I'm about.
Wow.
We got Panboy.
I exist.
Sekele.
Let's make this podcast illegal in
I
Germany.
am drunk as shit right now.
He's
job.
drunk. He's drunk.
That's
as
nice.
shit right now.
Hey. Please.
We got the Artrix, and I'm not even slightly intoxicated yet because this is my first beer and I just started drinking. And we got Xaverius.
I think Sekele implied that Slavs are not drunk the moment they are born. We're like dwarves.
Okay, but are you drunk,
Some is whiskey.
I was born.
or is it, completely limited to?
It's completely limited to being born. Yes.
Okay.
I was born once.
Okay, so you're born and you are in close proximity of Slovakia, so yeah, that.
Yes, I mean, I'm in such a close proximity to Slovakia that I once was Slovakia, and Slovakia was here.
Yes. Though it was Czechoslovakia, so I guess that kind of counts.
Did. First part is I'm still continuing.
Mm-hmm. GG.
Agree.
He's continuing to be Slovakia. That's good. Somebody had to do it.
That is good job. I mean, it's I work really hard to be Dutch every day. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like, we stopped being Slovakia, so somebody had to do that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Picking up the slack. You like you guys
Being
are
a
not
Slovak.
you guys are not nearly drinking enough. We need to keep up the world record of drinking the most on the entire planet. Or at least
Nobody's
in
exactly
Europe.
sure drinking what, but they are drinking something.
Shine from the moon.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you just drink copious amounts of coffee to offset.
No, that's a lie. I already drank it.
Oh,
I would have to get up and go to the fridge.
yeah. Well, if I were to get some coffee, I need to go to this website, pay like £5 for shipping, and then I get two 2-liter bottles of coffee. That would probably cost as much as 60,000 coffee bottles in Czechia.
Sounds fair.
Let's just blame it on Merkel. She probably had a hand in this.
Yes. See, she imported refugees instead of Artrix.
Yeah. If we just didn't bother with if we just didn't bother with the refugees and just had unlimited supplies of coffee for all Europeans, the economy would just it would be booming. It would truly be the European dream. But instead we got this. Anyway, so yeah, a bunch of stuff happened on this planet in the past week. Most importantly is, well, let's start off with the tragedy first, which is E3. Except not really. The real tragedy was there was this building in the UK, and there was fire involved, and then there was tragedy.
But then there was no building.
So yeah, now we can.
There's
Now,
half a building. Half of it's charcoal.
yeah, so we
It's
can
not an
start.
exact half. It's more like a part of the building.
So yeah, we can start off with Astra time with the Astra really early this time around. So Xaverius, go ahead.
Astra, it's yours.
Thanks.
Astra time with the Astra. So well, as our local correspondent in this war zone, what's your
As our U correspondent.
yeah?
Yes, I am outside. the building right
Tom,
now.
we're going live. We're going live to our correspondent in the United Kingdom right now. Here's Astra, the Astra, right on the scene, which is like several miles away, but still.
It is Britain!
Yes,
Britain
closer than
is-
any of
yeah.
you pricks can get to it. Anyway, well, as a twist to the story, that protesters have grown as fire anger increases. So at this moment, as far as I've been told, the death toll has continues to rise, and it has reached to, I believe last time I heard, it was 30 people have lost their lives in the fire.
Do they at least get like a coupon to redeem a free life after?
I really don't know what the aftermatch will be. There's a lot of angry people. There's so many answers, so many questions to be answered. I said that wrong, didn't I? And it's
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. Oh, this is just terrible to read. One of the victims have been named a 5-year-old.
Oh.
Fucking hell. I don't know what to say about this. It's a horrible thing that's happened, and yet it could have been prevented.
Oh,
There were no houses.
Well, no, it's the fact that it could have been prevented by the materials used during the remodeling of the building was the barest minimum to get past the safety checks.
So you're saying that a house that's completely clad in aluminium plates is not safe against fire? Huh.
I don't think it was. I think it was more than that. I think it's materials, not just outside, but the interior that they used as well.
More
I don't know
aluminium.
the full story of it, but a lot of people have said that the material used was the barest minimum.
They did say on a few places that the fire spread inside the building because of several renovations pulled out basically all the. You may have heard in the past that buildings in England were all stripped of their asbestos because it was incredibly toxic. But it's also
lung cancer or something in that line.
But
It's a healthy cancer though.
The funny thing about that is asbestos only causes those symptoms in the people working with it. It just being in a building by itself doesn't actually cause any problem.
Unless you touch
Well,
it or lick it.
Yes, unless you
Were you
consume
saying
it.
that? I did stay 1 year in one of the buildings at university where they constantly had notices saying we are going to be doing an asbestos check. I'm thinking these buildings, they should be safe. You're inspecting it as good, but why are you still got asbestos? Why? But anyway,
because taking it out is actually really dangerous, but
Yes.
leaving it there is fine.
It's not as dangerous. The checks are mostly because the stuff has tendency. Well, you have all houses that the houses tend to creak and make cracks and all stuff like
But
that. And the asbestos is like, well, I'm just going to shed a piece here, and here, and there.
I'm reading it.
What I was trying to get at right there is asbestos was the common fire retardant used in
yes,
old buildings.
yeah, I know.
So it was probably stripped out of this old building and replaced with something shoddy or
More
not fire
flammable.
retardant at
Probably
all.
polystyrene.
And and yes, the aluminium cladding on the outside of the building. I can't imagine why anyone would do that in this day and age with such. Aluminium is well known as being a flammable metal.
And it's
Explosive
got a
metal.
low melting point as well, I believe.
Yeah,
Very
it's,
low.
Yeah.
Very low.
try powdering some aluminium and hit it with a hammer.
And if you've ever actually tried to put out an aluminium fire or
Ugh.
any metal fire, it's near impossible because metal doesn't oxidize the same way as.
It kind of does the opposite of what you wanted to do.
That is kinda how the World Trade Center went down.
Yeah.
No, that was just CIA. Come
Yeah,
on.
but it's the case that there was an impact that took a good chunk of the building, which collapsed on
Yes, that
itself
too.
to bring it down. But I can't understand how a building who is so flammable, like the fire spread so quickly, it doesn't help a bit being like 12 at night and most people are asleep by that time. But it's the case that the building shouldn't have set ablaze so quickly. It took a while for the twin towers to collapse on themselves.
Well, aluminium itself burns at 5,000 degrees, which is hot enough to melt steel.
Including steel beams.
Yes, so that probably doesn't help.
No. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. That's why there's at the moment there's a lot of protesting. There's angry people.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It is very sad, and it's still. Oh God. There's one summary of man jailed for posting pictures of victims online. That's sick.
You
There's
shouldn't have
things
been
like that.
jailed,
The
but-
aftermatch where people are going to extreme lengths, one extreme to another, by posting posting photos of the victims, and then there's the other extreme of people protesting. It's all over the place at the moment.
And the poor guy was just like, I'm going to help the people identify their families if they die, I don't know, and then suddenly he's arrested.
Actually, yeah, you bring up a good point. That is a good way to identify.
Yes, photos are a good way to
Yes,
identify people.
but instead he gets jailed. He's like, I'm helpful. Nope, you go to prison.
That kind of reminds me
months for
of
it.
the guy
Go ahead.
went to jail because he informed the police that he found a child pornography website.
Fucking snitch. He's gonna get a stitch or 5.
The UK is becoming a strange police state, and it's
It
kind of
is.
scary.
It
Lots
is.
of countries are becoming a strange police state. Sometimes
That's
they don't
true,
even
yeah.
have police involved.
It's
Well,
almost getting to the point, or if it to the point that you're getting punished for making it known, making bad things known.
Yes.
I mean, yes. The UK is already a state with the most fucking CCTV systems per
Well,
square
because
centimeters.
obviously Astra, in this case, he was increasing the panic, and you don't have you can have increased panic. It would be actually best if nobody knew about it. But you know, fire is kind of hard to cover. It's fiery and lots of smoke. By the way, there were people who ran from the fire to the roof.
Oh,
Smoke goes up,
so does fire.
GG.
so does fire. They did not survive. Just for the record.
Oh, for a moment I was afraid I was confused, but thank you for clearing that up.
Yes. But that's what happens when you go up and the smoke goes up. Also, the fire goes up.
Yeah, and apparently there's a safety policy in place posted on these buildings that says, in case of fire, just stay in your house because the fire shouldn't spread.
Yeah, that's what they told my sister, because she lives in a flat herself, and they
It's
told her
retarded.
to stay in the building because the door would keep the fire out, as you say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well-
more or less, just don't open the door when there's fire because you are just going to get it oxygen and sometimes it explodes and you don't want that.
Well, in a properly concrete built building, that should be true. The fire should be trapped in whatever
But it's not
apartment
the
it starts
fire
in.
that kills people most of the time. It's
the guns.
smoke. It's the heat. Shut up.
Yeah, okay, just
The gun and yeah, it's the guns. You got me
Uh,
over now.
that is true.
It's the guns.
That is
The
true,
fire has guns!
But in a properly fire isolated building, it should indeed kill the people in that apartment, the smoke and the fire and the flames and the heat. But the fire shouldn't get out. So a lot of smoke, most of the smoke should be trapped in that one apartment, and it should actually put the fire itself out.
Unless it gets into the wall, then you have a problem.
Well, yeah, and that happens if the walls aren't up to code.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, but that is one thing I notice about the entirety of the UK. Like everywhere you go, like emergency exits and instructions and fire plans and whatnot are all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
we got that in the Netherlands, but it seems to be even more, thorough
Yeah, and-
in the UK.
Well,
Like they
I-
take
I-
their
I
fire
was-
safety very seriously.
They do, and every long corridor in these buildings will have extra doors in the middle of the corridor for no evident reason, that are just there to stop fire.
Mhm.
Like if you go down a long corridor, you might not see a doorway off it, but you'll have to go through like 4 doors just in the middle of the corridor.
Yeah, that's true. We used to have that at school.
Yeah, they're there to stop fire, and they were probably present in this building.
Then they canceled the doors because they were too old and started falling apart.
Or some scrub was like, oh, I'm just gonna put all my shopping carts here with full of Astra bags and other crap because I'm poor fag and I'm just gonna poor fag this place up. I'm gonna make it look as poor fag as possible.
I honestly doubt that's the case. That sort of stuff really gets on everyone's nerves.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people are angry at the moment.
Though a friend of mine, he's fortunately he's moving, but in his apartment complex there's this fucker that's like, I'm just gonna park my moped right here inside in front of the elevators because I'm a huge scrub and asshole.
That's a good idea.
Well, why I wouldn't? What? One thing, how the hell can you get a moped into the building in the first place?
He's
I own
crafty.
one. I know how big they are.
Double doors.
Not that big.
Why? Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's a small moped,
It's
Astra,
really
and
rude,
big
yeah.
doors.
It is one of those shitty pizza delivery mopeds.
Oh,
So,
like mine.
yeah.
Is he a pizza?
Yeah.
Is he delivering himself all over the place?
Yep, he is. I
Oh,
guess.
my
Well,
I don't
he's
understand why would you, unless you're like doing maintenance and it's like pissing down rain or dangerously weather outside. I don't know whatever condition weather it would be. Why would you bring your car in? Your car? No, moped.
I'm going to
really
put my
want to-
car into the elevator.
Yes.
Street safety.
Just get a little mini into the elevator.
because obviously he's afraid someone's going to steal it if he leaves it outside.
Put your bike on. Your bike.
I'll just break the lock.
Yeah, it's true. But there's the lock on the steering wheel.
Also, you have to keep in
The
mind
lock
this.
on the handlebars.
Also,
I'm really getting it wrong
you have to keep in mind this is a poor fag that thinks very highly of his shitty €200 moped. So
You get a chain, like any shitty little push bike. You get a chain for your bike, a lock for your bike.
I've had
to be fair,
several bikes
whenever
stolen that were locked up.
to be
Maybe lock
fair,
them
whenever I
more.
visit this,
You need to lock the lock, mate.
whenever I visit this friend, I insist that I put my bike in his shed, which is locked and everything, instead of just putting it on the street. Because for one thing, nothing stopping from some asshole to put a few cuts in my seat. You have your bike, yeah, that
And
happens.
your tires.
Some bored guys just roam the streets and they're like, oh, that's a very
Oh, hey, it's
nice.
Artrix's bike.
Well, they would know who I am, but they were like, this bike is not broken and doesn't look like it belongs to a poor fag, so we need to make it look like it belongs to a poor fag. So, here's a knife, we're gonna make a few holes in it. Because we're dicks. And also because of socioeconomic circumstances, so yeah, it's not our fault, it's society. Society made me this way.
Yeah,
So-
Artrix society punctured your seat and
Yes.
and tires.
Yep, it was all society. It has nothing to do with people committing the crime.
Nope.
It's all because I'm a cis-het white guy, and nothing else.
Tumblr
Absolutely.
is currently going insane.
Why?
Apparently, Luna Loud.
That sounds like a real issue.
It's already hilarious just by starting that sentence. I mean, they're getting upset over
Yeah.
the Loud House.
That's really
That's a real issue, Artrix.
So
Basically in the most recent episode of Loud House, it's heavily hinted that Luna is bisexual.
Oh
well,
no.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Lesbians in my cartoons.
Well,
Or
yeah,
more like, she's not purely gay. She does not
Yeah,
abhor dicks forever.
she likes the dick too. That's a big problem. Whatever shall we do? We can't stop until everyone's homosexual.
You just need to ban dicks. I think that's the reasonable solution.
Astra, start
Be
liking pussy right now.
bisexual,
Do it.
Not homosexual.
Wait, what? What?
Astra,
Yes.
start liking pussy right now. Do it.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
You-
It's
Thunder,
because
it's
it's not diverse enough,
Yeah.
Astra. You are the most diverse thing here, so obviously you need to be even diverse-ier.
Yeah, you're a token female. Now you also need to be bisexual. Come on, do it.
Okay.
Oh wait, bisexual's not good enough. Become lesbian.
Oh, and Zav, you need to be black.
Yeah, you need
I'm
to
a
be black.
trans nigger, shut up.
There you go. Perfect. Oh, and you're trans too. Even
Yeah.
better.
And I am transnational because I am both German and French, and also
You're a bank.
and Mozambican. I
No,
traced
that's good that you added that because, you know, German and French, those are white nations and they
exactly.
just,
So I just
they just appropriated that from Africans.
yeah. So I threw in some
They were skunks.
so I threw in some African just to appease them, you know. So yeah, I'm also like 0.2% Mozambican, so now I can claim those sweet victim bucks.
What flavor books?
Okay.
Okay, so for the sake of diversity, which one of you boys should I fuck?
Yes.
Back.
Well, already yeah, back. Do it.
I'm already getting fucked by life, so.
There you go.
So
So
you're
it
used
won't,
to
it
it.
won't be a
Well,
problem for you. You're used to it.
Well, back's life sexual, so that's already, you know, something other than cishet. So GG, I guess. Speaking
Yeah,
of
speaking
this,
of GG,
no,
I also have some
yeah,
news.
but I'm going to finish the England thing because
Finish. Didn't you
something-
say you were French?
well, yeah, that too. So one of the responses to this horrible tragedy where people lost their homes and everything was none other than our favorite communist Jeremy Corbyn, because he
Hey,
was-
I like Stalin more.
no, Stalin has more charisma than Corbyn, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay.
So-
Stalin is dead.
Well, yeah,
That's
the po-
that's also a bonus point.
yeah,
yes.
exactly. That's the point. He's dead and he's still got more charisma than Corbyn. Corbyn's alive and well, and he can get shit done. Anyway, so he was like, you know what? These houses that people own, you know, that it's their property. Let's just confiscate them. Let's just give them to the people that lost their homes. I mean, they're empty, so let's just give them. Let's just take them from them and let's give them. That it will not lead to any kind of capital flight or anything. That's not gonna happen. So
Not going to have any drawbacks. No,
Yeah,
that's
no,
a nice house.
it-
It'd be
it
a
will-
shame
it-
if somebody
it-
started living in it.
well, that's the thing. The houses are empty, so from a very pragmatic point of view, it does make sense.
I can't fault him for doing it.
Yes, but from not being a dick point of view, it does not make much sense.
I mean, okay, that's one thing to suggest. Okay, these houses are empty. We can use them to house these displaced people.
Have
that
you
makes-
tried asking the owners?
Yeah,
I don't think he tried asking the owners.
I mean, for
I'm
the
sure
time,
they did because they had to get the keys from someone.
yeah. So for the time being, you know, there's a shit ton of hotels in the area. Just, you know, put them in hotels. Have the government foot the bill. I mean, I'm pretty sure to get some bulk discount. Problem solved. And maybe
But
then
Artrix,
we can
Artrix,
negotiate with the owners of these estates to maybe let these people live there for a few months until they can
Alex,
find a
there's one grave flaw in your plan.
Which is?
Well, they are socialists,
Oh,
and
yeah.
in hotels you have to pay money.
Yes. But
Capitalist hotels.
that doesn't make sense because, you know, the hotels are you know, the socialists already want to increase spending by like 2 trillion%. So, you know, getting a few hotel rooms isn't really that much of a dent in there. Wouldn't really make a lick of difference. It's like, what shall we do? Just buy a bunch of houses, or just, you know, rent a few hotel rooms until we get this shit sorted out.
I imagine they're going to have to pay the real estate agents for the houses at some point.
Yeah, but that's not what was suggested. The suggestion was just confiscate the houses, just take this property and house the people in them, because we are the government, will just come take these houses. And that's kind of a problem, because these foreign investors are going to be like, maybe we shouldn't invest our money in this UK thing because they're just going to take your property. So, you know what?
Obviously, they could also make it like real socialists and start using the houses, but keep the original owner to do all that, menial stuff, like taking care of the house and paying for it.
You can also be like, hey, you know what? Let these people live here. Let them pay rent. Maybe the same rent they paid for their shitty apartment. And at least you're getting something out of your house.
Well,
now.
no, Artrix. That would have, that would mean they would have to talk to people and negotiate with them.
Oh yeah.
That's not how you do that.
Oh yeah. That's not what dear leader Corbyn wants. He just wants.
You can't let people talk to the government. The government knows the best.
I mean, Corbyn would totally let the UK be nuked to oblivion in case of nuclear warfare. It's like
that's because he's peaceful.
It's like, hey, we're Soviet.
What's more peaceful than not defending yourself?
We're Soviet Russia. We have reserves for nothing. We're going to nuke the entirety of the United Kingdom. And Corbyn's like, okay, you can do that. You're
Just
not.
don't use any jokes.
You're not going to retaliate. Oh no, we're going to peace and shit.
Here's the thing though. Even if the UK didn't retaliate, someone else probably would on their behalf. So it's not like
India.
Corbyn's, it's not like Corbyn's I wouldn't nuke back promise has any real weight to it. It's also incredibly retarded. Regardless of whether someone else is going to nuke them or not.
Yes. It basically tells the world, look, the UK is not going to retaliate, so if you're going to shoot a few nukes, well, some other countries are going to be a problem, but UK, you have no worries from them. They won't use their arsenal against you. It's fine.
Just imagine him being a prime minister and then there's terrorists and they are threatening to detonate a nuke. Give us 15 bajillions of the British pesos, or we are going to start this nuke and everything's going to explode. And Corbyn is like, well, I don't believe in war with nuclear weapons.
I always want to do a small social experiment with people like, with the kind of people who think, I wouldn't use violence under any situation. And my social experiment goes like this. You find a person and they have all their stuff, okay? And they're all happy, they have all their stuff, and you go to them and say, okay, so you're not in favor of using violence. And they say, no, I'm not, okay? So then you go into the house and you take an item and then you leave. And then they're like, hey, stop taking my stuff. And I'm like, no. And then you take more of their stuff. And they're like, stop, why are you taking my stuff? I was like, are you going to stop me? Like, no, I abhor violence. Like, okay. They keep taking their stuff. And then they're like, I'll call the police. And I say,
police is government-sanctioned violence.
You don't believe in using violence, and the police are a force of violence. It's like, oh. And then eventually they have no stuff left. Or either that or they use violence on you to stop you. It's one or the other. It's a binary. They either lose all their stuff or they stop you.
That's the problem with pacifism in general. Like, sure, it's cool and all that you're trying to preach peace and whatnot, but the problem is that, the moment someone else will take the advantage and use violence, you have a huge problem.
Yes, it's a nonsense ideology that breaks down at the first bit of opposition.
Obviously, you can be a martial pacifist like Buddha and be like chill and everything, and then somebody's going to be taking your stuff and you are kicking his ass, and then just sit in the shade of the tree and meditate.
Indeed, but it did say you have to wear many masks in life, and sometimes that mask has to be that of a fist in your face. I think you used more eloquent words than that, but I think I get the point across.
Well, that's usually the case with these kind of people. So yeah, in other words, Corbyn don't like it at all.
He did win a lot of points though with this fire thing because he actually went and talked to the residents, whereas what's her face?
Theresa May.
Yeah,
From what I gather, Theresa May also, well, she may not have talked to people, but she did do shit.
Oh,
she
no,
tri-
a
she
lot
tried
of people
to-
were angry at her at the moment.
Because
Yes,
she
she
didn't.
tried to go to the place and investigate. How terrible.
But she didn't actually talk to any of the residents. She just talked to the organizers of the relief efforts.
Yeah, but not the people. The people that were affected. The people who are suffering. Those who have lost friends, family, belongings. But I know the belongings don't matter, but still, even photos. That's something you'll get back again. You can replace most stuff, but not things that are memories like that.
No, not your neighbors who.
You can't replace your neighbours. You can't replace your friends.
Oh, you can.
It's
Just need
good
to be
to be
creative.
organisers who are there to help. Yeah, that's a good thing. But just to ignore the people like that, and not to go directly after it's happened.
Okay, so from what I gather, Theresa May was too busy actually leading the country, while Corbyn was like, "Oh yeah, you guys are."
She was too busy trying to figure out what happened
Yeah,
while he was hugging people.
which is what I expect from the fucking government. I
Some
don't
people
need.
just want a hug.
No,
Yeah, Artrix sounds like you need a hug indeed.
I need a hug. Give it. Give.
even though she isn't part of Parliament and she doesn't have much say in it anymore, the Queen, even she went to the people to see how they were.
Well,
To say that I support you.
From the Queen, I would at least kind of expect it because she is more of a ceremonial figure, but
Yeah.
the Prime Minister is.
Theresa
Yo,
May
what
not
up, guys? Oh shit, got fire, yo.
for her, Theresa May not to drop everything to see the people. It shows that she's not have any much humanity for those who are at what's the word for it? At the lowest
Weak.
point in their lives.
Yeah, but that I think that's a good thing in the sense that you need your national leaders to, remain focused on the to get shit done, especially in times of crisis.
Yeah, but Artrix, national leaders, in order to have power, need the support of the people. And if you are not actually garnering the support of your people through your actions or inactions, then you have failed.
That's true, and this is probably going to bite her in the ass later on.
It's already biting her in the ass.
Yes. When
She's
people-
lost basically all support right now.
Because she didn't hug people.
Yep. But she also wasn't elected. She was selected because the previous prime minister bailed.
Yeah, he was like, shit, it worked. I'm bailing.
And now she's still clinging on to power somehow. Because from what I gather, she's not going to step down anytime soon.
Oh, she has the Irish people.
That too.
Yeah, I should actually go and read up on what's happening with Northern Ireland and Brexit, because...
Yeah, apparently DUB wants to form a coalition with the
they
Conservatives.
figured out that the place of terrorists is already taken this decade, and they're like, okay, let's try something different.
So let's just join the Brexit.
But if terrorism is to be a daily thing that we should all expect in a big city, and the IRA's brand of terrorism was to simply find the politicians and blow them up, cabinet would probably get reshuffled fairly quickly. Because the IRA's brand of terrorism wasn't nearly as shotgun and it wasn't untargeted like the ISIS brand.
Yeah, exactly. IRA had targets.
IRA like, we found out Councillor number X is going to go have lunch at this pub. Let's literally put a bomb on the table he's going to eat at. Or wait till he goes out the door and blow up a car in his face.
Instead of, well, let's just kill as many people so they might change their minds about subject X or Y.
about, we don't actually know about what, but they might change their mind.
I'm pretty sure ISIS's brand of terrorism, which is piss everyone off so much that they want to kill everyone in ISIS, is not effective.
Well, ISIS has made it very clear that they simply just really goddamn hate the West and everything it stands for. Which is amazing. Like,
Which is probably why the liberals love them so much.
well, probably. Though it is very paradoxical because the liberals, at least the way they're well, liberals, the regressive left, I should say, because I'm pretty sure classical liberals, the classical liberals are like, yeah, this is something that needs to be dealt with, but the regressive left is like, yeah, we just, you know, we just hate ISIS too much. If we're just kinder to Muslims, then everything will be fine. We just need to be not mean to Muslims. If we just
I mean, as one wise man said, if you fight the terrorists, they've already won.
Oh God!
But if you don't fight
wasn't
them,
that
they will
Justin
kill you
Trudeau?
and they will win.
Obviously, if you don't fight the terrorists, they lose. It's perfectly coherent logic.
So ISIS keep coming into your house and taking your stuff.
No, blowing your stuff up.
And then you're sitting there all like, yeah, we're just not being kind enough to this guy. We just need to be kinder.
Maybe if we give him our stuff willingly, he's not going to blow it up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth a try.
That's their line of reasoning. It's a retarded line of reasoning, but it is one.
But it's a line.
It's a line. But ISIS is like, yeah, guys, we just goddamn hate the West. We hate everything it stands for. We hate, you know, the way you live your lives. We hate your liberties. We just hate you. We just want to wipe you off the face of the earth.
Sounds like you need a hug.
Well, they probably need a hug. And
We should...
Oh, indeed.
Astra, proposition. You
Okay.
should send Corbin to ISIS place to give them a hug.
Good
They
idea.
do need
Oh
a
yes,
few hugs.
I was hoping to go right now.
Make that a petition to your local government.
or you can send Corbyn just to Venezuela and just, you know, make him experience firsthand what his brand of socialism will do to the UK eventually.
He will probably like it though.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, look at all these angry people. They are finally taking up against the power. Fucking capitalism.
Send
Then
Theresa May to prove them right.
and then they discover, oh wait a minute, these people are actually protesting against socialism. Oh. Kind of sick of it.
What a plot twist.
What a twist.
Anyway.
Anyway, we were gonna talk about the big elephant in the room, that is the threes of the E's. And
How many of them?
oh boy, what a shitstorm it is. Because
Which
this
one
is-
exactly?
But
There's been
first-
several shitstorms.
Yeah, but first, breaking news from Germany, actually.
Oh god.
Oh my god, it's the
Yes.
breaking bug!
Are they
the-
censoring something?
Maybe. But our former Chancellor, Helmut Kohl, died today.
Oh.
Oh,
Was he like the when did he reign?
did.
I think
What-
from 1990 to, I think like 1998 or something.
Well, since he
he-
unified the Germany.
Actually, I need to check it actually.
Check.
So yeah, he was at the cradle of modern Germany. As in, you know, he was the one that was there when the
I was like,
Germans
hey,
united.
Russia, now that you are not a union, give
We're-
Germany back, please.
Oh,
we're
actually, he
just-
reigned from 1982 until 1998. So
Wow,
very
that's
very.
a long reign. Almost as
Yep.
long as Merkel. Almost.
No, Michael wished she could reign as long.
How long has Merkel been in?
what I have heard,
Since 2005.
Jeez, that's more than 10 years.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
You guys not have
it was
term
like
limits for
17th
your-
century.
Hi,
Not for
Chancellor.
chancellors. Not for chancellors.
Oh, that's really dumb.
Because the chancellor is basically supplied by the party that has the most votes.
And they
Or
have
the
a lot
bigger,
of power.
or basically the bigger party from the reigning coalition.
And then people are like, well, there's nobody better. And the party is like, well, we don't have anybody else anyway.
And nobody's
That's
assassinate. Yes.
that's how you get Merkel.
That's how you usually get rid
Exactly.
of Caesars.
Well, you can't assassinate Merkel because there's no one better.
If Merkel's out of the way, they'll just unfreeze one of the clones. and no one would be any wiser.
Well, she did work with the Soviets, so why not? She probably has clones somewhere.
There's probably a secret Soviet experiment going on somewhere.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, he was very involved in the reuniting of the Germanies.
Well, thank you for doing that, Mister. I already forgot his name, but
Kohl.
Helmut Kohl.
Kohl.
Helmut Kohl. Yeah.
Kohl. Isn't that the same name as Cologne, but in German?
No idea.
Oh.
He had to do all the stuff like phone Russia. And Russia was really drunk and in depression.
Yes, they were like,
It was
comrade, this capitalism is not what it's cracked up to be.
it was more like he picked up the phone, dialed the number, it was like, Russia, hey, Russia. And Russia was like, stop! Leave me alone!
I used to be something. I used to be a superpower. I'm just Russia.
Then Putin came.
And Putin was also like, we were used to be someone. Now we're just Russia.
And then Putin declared himself president of Russia.
He doesn't need to do
Forever.
that.
Well, at first he was president, then he became. Well, actually,
President.
And then he became a non-president, and the fun part was that at that time the political system in Russia shifted from presidential to governmental. And then when he became president again, it shifted back to presidential.
Yeah, because what the fuck did happen? Because I remember this Mikachev, whatever guy, being elected as the dear leader, but then Putin got into power again somehow.
Well, yes, you have the presidential systems where the power is where the president is, and the parliamentary system where there's power where all the people are, and then there's Russia where there's power
Where Putin is.
there's power where Putin is indeed.
Yes, the power just follows Putin.
Yes.
It's the Putinary system.
Yeah.
Rumors are it's been in place since the 17th century.
When Putin first came out of the sun.
Well,
Yes.
you know what?
You ever heard about Rasputin? That was Putin.
Yeah.
He just shaved his beard after.
Well, Rasputin basically means one Putin.
That's true.
Oh boy.
So it's been Putin all along.
GG. Anyway, how about them E3s? Because there's a shit ton of shit going on at the E3s.
Shit ton of shit. Oh my god.
Well,
It's
there's,
I
shit
heard-
by itself.
there's a
I
lot of
heard
shit.
that Nintendo are entering the XCOM market.
XCOM.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mario and Raving Rabbits.
They've made an XCOM clone with Mario characters fighting off rabbits from Rayman.
I do not see any point in still using rabbits in this day and age.
Yeah, I thought that Ubisoft realized, people, it was a fun
You know
run.
what? People are fucking pissed off just by seeing these things.
Yes.
Well, that's exactly why they made a game which is entirely dedicated to murdering them, which finally gave Mario a laser gun.
Stomping is not enough.
Take up arms as Mario and Luigi and shoot the shit out of everything in this new cover-based XCOM shooter. I mean, XCOM turn-based strategy game.
Yes.
And the victims are fucking rabbids. So,
Yes.
yeah.
But apparently there's also rabbits dressed up as Mario characters on the Mario team.
They're optional. I think you can use like 4 characters at the same time, and there are multiple characters. So
The point is that it's still retarded. And it's also being overshadowed by the superior game that is Super Mario Odyssey, which is shaping up to be very interesting.
Lets you possess people and use their bodies for your own.
Exactly. It's got that going on for it. So you've got
I don't know
that.
what do I call it. Despicable ends.
So
This reminds me of one thing. Have you ever heard of the game Omicron: The Nomad Soul?
Yep.
Nope.
so what's it about?
Popular game Messiah.
Yep.
The one where you possess people by jumping up their butts as a little cherub?
Yes. That's it.
Popular games, I think late 90s, early 2000s, that were about possessing people.
By jumping up their butts.
Yes.
Then you'll be rich.
The Messiah was a weird game. So was this Omicron made by the same people, or was it just unrelated?
No idea.
David Bowie involved.
He was involved in a lot of weird shit in the 90s.
I mean, we have the Google, right?
Well,
Oh,
go on,
really?
Sekele. Keep the energy.
It's definitely different games. Yes, good. Well, Omicron was actually a nice game that you couldn't finish if you didn't do the soul skip.
Okay,
See, the
so,
point was,
so it's a
it
game.
pretended it was optional.
So it's a game that becomes unbeatable if you skip a portion of it, which was
No. Like you had parts of the game, and since it was an old game, you could totally get killed. When you got killed, you would have to get a new body. But if you decided to play it straight and not get killed and be careful because you like the characters, then you wouldn't get forward. Because that's what the games were back then. The correct way is not always the right way, or vice versa, I guess.
Well, at least in Messiah, they were explicit about it. They're like, yeah, if you want to get through this area, you're going to need to possess a guy with the right skills. And there often wouldn't be if you got them killed, it would basically be a fail state.
Yep.
But I think they had them respawn. Or have like another guy walk in from off screen. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played that game. It was fucked up.
Why would you say that?
It was okay. Spoilers for Messiah, but it was a game where you were a fallen angel sent to Earth to possess people to resurrect the devil. And then the last chapter of the game was you defeating the devil, because obviously you don't want to resurrect the devil.
Yes.
You
Also, I think you were named Bob.
Yeah.
That's an angelic name.
Yes.
You do a whole lot of stuff throughout the whole entire game that is explicitly not angel-like behavior, so it should be fairly obvious to you you're not playing a good guy.
Oh, you're a cherub. They are assholes.
True. Cherubs are assholes. But no, you spend the whole game gunning people down by possessing other people with guns, so and manipulating people by direct control to make them violate their job's principles and exploiting people. You're not a good guy. You're just not. So the twist isn't exactly really a twist. It's more like, well, duh. But anyway, why were you talking about these possession games, Sekele? You didn't move on.
Because the current Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey, has possession as one of its main mechanics.
Oh.
The entire game is basically, well, not the entire game, but a very big part of the game's mechanics, at least from the recent trailer, is possessing both enemies and random NPCs to get past certain portions of the game.
Oh my god, it is Messiah.
Yep. You are the devil now.
Not only do you possess the classic Mario enemies like Goombas, Koopas, Bullet Bills, and so on, but you also possess random wildlife like ordinary random frogs jumping around.
Kinky.
And even you possess freaking NPCs. Like there is a guy walking down the street, just a guy in a business suit, in New York, and Mario possesses him.
Yes, then you take away his body, his life,
Is
And-
everything.
jump
everything-
over some buildings, and then you leave his shattered and broken body on the ground.
And they play you up as the good guy in this game? Oh my.
So you are trying to save Peach.
Mhm, that's
And
worth
that
it.
justifies everything.
Everything.
No horrendous acts will be judged inappropriate. As long as we have to save Peach.
Yes.
And Peach is just standing there going, Peach!
Exactly.
That's a funny thing. In the Mushroom Kingdom versus the Rabbids trailer, they make it explicitly obvious that Peach can take care of herself, because they drop her down there with a couple of rabbits, and Mario goes running to save her, and she whips out a machine gun and murders everyone.
That's what you do with rabbits.
A laser rifle.
Machine gun,
Laser-
I said. I
Laser
said
machine gun. Okay. I'll solve the debate. Plasma Gatling.
Oh, of course. But that doesn't make sense. Or does it?
Exactly, it's the best weapon.
Now I want to see if a Gatling railgun would work. Because, heat dissipation is a big problem for railguns. But if you had multiple barrels,
It would need to be big.
so big.
Big for you.
Yeah, I mean, just think about all the electromagnets that you have to fit in there.
Railguns don't use electromagnets.
Hey, I've been lied to.
Yes, you have. Railguns don't use magnets, they use rails.
Ah,
Gaussian
okay.
accelerators use magnets.
Oh yes. I've been thinking about something different, indeed. Doesn't matter.
Gatling Gauss gun would be good too.
Yes.
Electronic warfare. It needs to be here, and it needs to be here now.
Yes. I mean, this is what infinite. What is it called? Infinite warfare should have been about.
Mm-hmm. But-
Seguing into the games about the gods.
Mm-hmm.
There happens to be a new game about these fishes, and apparently, did you know that? Because this is very highly historically accurate game. Did you know that Nazis did not have swastikas?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird that they're doing this with the new card. They're talking about taking out all the Nazi imagery from it, which is kind of baffling for a World War II game.
Let me just say that it's really funny that they are getting a Call of Duty World War II game, because that never happened before, and the series totally didn't start like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they totally didn't go back because their newest advances failed miserably.
Well, no, it's just people are getting tired of modern warfare. Like the Battlefield did the same thing. They're like, okay, people are getting sick of machine guns and submachine guns and assault rifles and the same tired weapons they've seen in the last 72 video games. Let's go back to what we haven't done in a while. Old guns. We're going to make work like new guns, because nobody actually wants to use unreliable, shitty guns full of mud.
But that's half of the game. I mean, the Battlefield had all those trenches and shitty tanks, and you could get killed by anything. Why not just use the shitty guns full of mud and maces?
No, they should have just made it like a real World War One event. Like, you'd be sitting there for the entire map. You just sit there for the full half hour in the trench, not seeing any enemies. Just every now and again, you hear machine gun fire go off in the
But
distance.
then a shell hits you.
Anytime someone peeks out from a trench, and then just artillery bombardment for the next 2 hours.
Yes, obviously. And then somebody yells charge, and you charge, and your gun gets stuck, and you have to take a rock and start smashing the people in front of you.
Basically, every game would be exactly the same as the ending of Blackadder. You sit in the trench for the entire game, and at the end of the episode, you get up and run and die.
Well, that's what happened in the First World War. I mean, things like things that were not used since Napoleonic Wars were experiencing a resurgence, like maces and grenades and mortars. And they found a new use for flamethrowers and shotguns. Even though Germany was like, okay, shotguns are not humane, let's ban this. Anybody who's going to be caught using a shotgun is going to get executed without trial. Yes, they actually did that.
It's very strange that Germany would be the ones to introduce the humane laws after stuffing so many people into an oven.
Fairness.
There was the other war, yes. They were kind of horrified at the efficiency that shotguns provided when clearing trenches. You just point into the alien and shoot, and then everybody's dead.
They did carry that portion of reality into the game, by the way. Like the A10 Hunter shotgun is the most deadly weapon in the game in a trench. So
please don't use it.
Please don't use it, kiddings.
Yeah,
too much.
It's not humane.
Well, then again, most of the weapons in World War One were not very humane. Then again, any weapon is not very humane.
That is why.
No. Artrix, you are misunderstanding. Bashing a guy's skull in with a rock or a piece of wood or somebody's leg is perfectly humane.
Yeah. So just shooting them through the brain so they don't even notice is much more cruel, obviously.
Well, the funny thing is, it was actually because there was so many survivors of these weapons that they had to treat in hospitals with horrible, horrible injuries. And the doctors were like, this shit's fucked up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do anything about this.
This guy's just going to die of blood loss, and I had to do shit.
Yeah, or if it's not blood loss, it's because... Yeah, when you got shot in a limb with something of higher caliber, the only cure was to get the limb off you. Mm-hmm. And then you died of blood loss or of poisoning.
And,
so it
was
more
lucky,
they couldn't treat the injuries than the injuries were strictly inhumane, really.
Which in itself makes it pretty inhumane, if you ask me. I mean, you either just kill someone or you just leave them crippled to the point where they just die a slow, painful death.
Mm-hmm. But really, the whole... How can they make a World War II game and say that there's not going to be Nazis in it?
Well, there's going to be Nazis. They are just going to be called Germans, obviously.
Because that isn't any less...
In all fairness...
Well, if you call them Germans, you just need to use the German cross, and that's it.
It's especially absurd considering the game library Activision have already made that has had Nazi imagery in it a lot. Like all the previous COD games, the ones based in World War II, they had Nazis. There are current games on the market that got Nazis and swastikas all over them, like Wolfenstein, obviously, and the Sniper Elite games, and
yes. Well, Sniper Elite is in Germany, killing Germans who happen to be all Nazis, and yeah,
the older Medal of Honor games. Also, all these World War II games exist, are on the market, and be sold every day still.
And I think the best part is that Wolfenstein is a new thing. There's actually going to be a new game in that series. Well, after the reboot, it's the second one. And it's taking the man in the high castle route when America is occupied by Germans. And, Americans are turning into Germans, and there's a resistance, and you are part of resistance. And there's fucking swastikas all over the place.
Also, isn't there a new Wolfenstein in the pipeline?
Yes.
Yes.
What you said.
I was just talking about it. And every officer that happens to be a Nazi, or maybe even every soldier, I don't know, I didn't look at the trailer that much. They wear a little band on their arm with the swastika on it, just so you don't miss it.
I don't understand this new push against Nazism in the media. A few years ago, we had a movie called Iron Sky.
There's going to be a sequel. It's going to have more Nazis and more moon and also a dinosaur or 5 or 70.
Sweet.
But
Nazis
there's...
Speaking of Wolfenstein...
Oh, right. Go ahead, Sekele.
Wolfenstein, as you mentioned, this is actually not the first time Nazis were removed from a World War II game. The original Wolfenstein 3D, when it got, I think, when it got the German release,
Oh, well, no.
it had all of its swastikas removed.
Okay, exactly. Germany's a special case. And all Nazi imagery is removed from all video games that get launched in Germany.
Yeah, that's why they're removing in the Call of Duty.
Okay, I think my connection with... Oh. Hold on, what's going on here? Oh wow. I think Discord... Oh, there we go.
Be,
I'm back.
Like they didn't say, like they were asked and they didn't say.
Yes.
Which
You need
is
to ask the
suspicious.
question, if they remove something from a game in Germany, will they also remove it from the game in real life?
Mm-hmm. And the fact that they didn't say no, we're not going to censor it outside of Germany is what's causing people suspicion on this. Because usually that would be like, yeah, of course not. That's dumb. Why would we? But the fact that they didn't just say no,
It's like very suspicious.
yeah.
Almost like they want to avoid the answer.
Speaking of Germans
But then you have no Nazis.
Go ahead.
removing World War II imagery from games, the video game I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream, its German release basically became unwinnable because of this. Story section that takes place in a concentration camp and remove this section of the game, thus rendering the whole thing unwinnable.
It's
GG.
very weird as well because that entire section of the game was supposed to point out how who's that going? That section of the game was supposed to send a message that, hey, by the way, see this Nazism? This is really bad. Maybe not do it. but
I
no.
didn't get that.
But no, the Germans aren't allowed to see messages telling them that Nazism is bad. They're just not allowed to understand that Nazism existed at all.
Yeah, because that makes them understand it when it resurfaces. If they on off chance meet it, maybe they are not going to be like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Let's kill all the Jews.
It wouldn't surprise me if someday a similar regime to World War II Nazism pops up in Germany and people don't really realize it right away. Because they've been kept in the dark about, or it's just not in popular culture over there, like it is everywhere else, because our media is something we use to tell our culture that there are ideas that we consider to be bad.
Wow.
It's almost like we perpetuate our education throughout our lives through the media we consume.
Yeah, but and right now the media is like, everything's bad and we need socialism. Also more refugees, please.
Artrix, you don't sound like you like socialism. I bet you are one of those people who take 2 scoops of ice cream.
I take 3.
Oh my god.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I go to the fucking ice cream store. I'm like, I'll have a big horn.
Give me the entire vat. I'm not sharing.
I'm gonna get 1 big horn and I'm gonna purchase 3 scoops of ice cream and if you don't serve it to me, I'll just go to the competition.
You just take the tube, they got it in.
No, but talking about media that is trying to teach us positive messages about reality. There was a game unveiled at E3.
Oh yeah,
I think
that
Zap might know about it.
I might know about this indeed.
Mm-hmm. The game by the developer was touted as in the past, not at E3, but in historical context. He said, "Oh yeah, the game I'm developing is as a message to people to show them what the future would be like if socialism and feminism were their current ideological state." And the game is basically a dystopian future where everyone's needs are taken care of to such an extent that people are incredibly bored and want
Yes.
to die.
I mean, that's what happens when you take care of people. I think, not exactly who, was it Clark? Maybe it was one of the Asimovs. There was a short story once about a planet full of people getting, well, visited by robots. And the robots were like, we are here to serve you. And everybody was happy because they had robots to serve them and shield them from danger. But unfortunately, the robots were programmed. Therefore, they did not think for themselves. And they took care of people, indeed. They removed every sharp corner in the world and made everything out of soft plastic so nobody could get hurt. And they removed all the unhealthy food and monitored people while they were having sex so they don't have sex for too long. And then everybody just wanted to die, but they couldn't because the robots were protecting them.
And that's not the greatest thing about this socialist game. It's apparent anti-socialist game, I should say.
The weirdest part, this was an episode on The Amazing World of Gumball.
Okay.
This triggered some social justice folks.
Of course
they
it
were
did.
rooting into the developers' the developers' history, and they found out, oh hey, this guy once said something positive about GamerGate.
3 years ago, he did something we did not agree with.
He is literally Hitler.
And then there was a lovely Twitter campaign. Let's call it GamerGate 2.0. About how this developer is the most awful thing in the world and nobody should support him.
Yep.
And it's insane.
There were articles written, and one of them.
How is the game doing, by the way?
Oh.
The game doesn't exist yet, so it's going to do fine.
Well, obviously they did not notice until it got semi-famous.
Yeah,
But
now
the game
people.
looks really good. It's
Now
got really
people
interesting art style.
It's a kind of pixel arty click and play adventure.
But
Part
that's
of it is pixels. Part of it is actually rendered backgrounds, and it's cyberpunk, as Sizzle said. Articles were written about it. One article in particular, I liked it very much, called it misguided cyberpunk, which I don't think the person realizes what cyberpunk is, because the author of the article was like, cyberpunk is usually used to express the revolt against capitalism. Let me stop you right there, nigga. No, cyberpunk is defiance against the system. Doesn't matter what kind of system it is, as long as it controls the entire society.
And the current system we're fighting against is oppressive socialism and political correctness and people dictating to us what we can and cannot do. In fact, exactly the message of this video game is to not want to be dictated to what we can and cannot do, which is what all these people on the internet are doing, dictating to us what we can and cannot do.
Which is obviously why they are upset, because they're like, oh my god, this game is criticizing the very thing that we're constantly doing. So yeah, we better, kill it in the nub.
Better get offended.
Better get offended and get this, kill this right now before it spreads. But it's kind of like a Streisand effect, and also kind of reawakened GamerGate, because all the good old GamerGate people
I like it. It's like 2017. How long is that? 4 years since GamerGate? 3 years since GamerGate? I don't know. I lost
GamerGate started in
lost
2014,
track
so
of
that's
time.
3 years.
But these people in the news places on the web, they keep mentioning GamerGate. They just can't flip it down.
Oh yeah, they are so pissed off that GamerGate exists, and they want nothing but its ultimate demise, that they keep bringing it up and therefore keep bringing it back into your public consciousness.
It's not GamerGaters that are keeping GamerGate alive. It's these crazy people who don't like it.
GamerGate has just moved on and kept doing whatever they were doing.
Rebanner!
Yes, whatever that was. That was especially funny thing as far as I'm concerned. I mean, to me it was funny. Guess who came out of the bushes?
Let me guess. Her name ends in N and starts with a Z, and she's often referred to as literally who.
Yes, I'm in Chelsea, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, so Chelsea came out of the woodwork and was like, just for information, I am 100% for never letting it go when a developer participated in GamerGate. Wow. As I replied to her, she did not block me, by the way. I don't know what's happening. I'm not used to being not blocked for this long. You know, kind of, it happens that she started the whole business. So if there's going to be credits for participation, she is going to get the most.
Girl is
Except,
insane.
I mean, people are usually letting it go when it comes to her because she's so fucking boring.
Well, to be perfectly fair, she didn't single-handedly cause GamerGate because that was like the.
However, China did.
No. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Zoe Quinn had very little to do with anything that GamerGate became. It was just her stupidness.
It was the impulse.
It was her little what was it? The Zoe post was an impetus to get it started.
Yes.
But that wasn't.
They just
really
sort of
got
rolled.
GamerGate going was the 20 articles those gaming
Well, you know,
sites
it sort of just rolled because those people just can't let something alone, and they see something they like, they just have to go in and all of them just have to start bashing it. Yeah, well, yeah, good job, except no, and you know how it ended for them, and then suddenly there were leaks like the mailing list.
It's like, hey, by the way, we all know that you're a bunch of colluding fucks. Everything that the GamerGators said about you is true.
It's almost like all these 20 articles were not a coincidence.
No, they definitely weren't. There was a very conscious effort to try and
And
paint.
obviously then you're like, we have proof. They're like, it doesn't matter, you doxed us. Bah!
I do love as well how people like Zoe Quinn are like, I can't believe these people posting mean things about me on the internet trying to defame me. I will now go and post mean things about someone on the internet to try to defame them.
Well, obviously, usually the difference is that those people got posted something about them that they said the last week, and then they go and find something their opponent said 3 years ago.
Checkmate, atheists.
It's not like, okay, I'm going to show people what this person is saying. It's more like, okay, I'm going to look at everything this person ever said and try to find something that's not nice.
The worst, although the thing that really bothers me about this entire situation is the guy when he got wind of
He did the worst possible thing he could have done. Yes.
He apologized.
He said, I'm sorry.
You don't say I'm sorry to these people. No.
He should have said, you know what? Fuck you guys. You're trying to ruin my game.
If you don't like it, just fuck off, mate.
Because I was like, should I buy it? Maybe I should buy this game. This sounds like an interesting concept. But now I'm like, if he's that spineless, then maybe I shouldn't.
His
Plus the apology counters the entire message his game is trying to
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know what he said, that lots of things changed for him over the years. Well, you're still making the game, mate, and it still has the same message. Did you just make the apology to apologize?
Of course he did. He was pressured into a PR manager.
Yes, because that company was like, this tweet is nothing like the person we know, and stuff, and we support everything, and we agree with feminism and stuff.
Yeah, because for instance, back in the 90s, you had the makers of Postal, and then they made the most offensive game possible, and the company even doubled down on it.
They also lost their publisher shortly after.
So that's a detail. Well, yes, and then they like 10 years later made a DLC.
But also their publisher then shortly went out of business itself.
Yes, it's complicated.
So in other words, their Defiance actually got them, did them in. That was like.
Although Bullfrog didn't, Postal wasn't Bullfrog's only game, so Bullfrog went down the toilet for other reasons as well. But it's just being, it's unfortunate that being an honest developer doesn't have a very good track record in the industry at the moment. But you can't lump Bullfrog's failure totally on Postal.
No, you can't.
Well, Bullfrog mostly ended because they started making all those movie games.
Yeah,
Harry Potter's and Lords of the Rings, and they were mostly, well, Harry Potter's were some sort of weird RPG exploring a castle something slash platformer, and Lord of the Rings was mostly just hack and slash. So yeah, that no wonder it didn't do well.
Plus, the Postal games were actually awful.
The first one is without a sense. The second one, I mean, how many games do you have where you can piss on a person, then while they are vomiting, sever their head with a shovel, and then go to your dog to bring you the head?
Yeah, Postal 2 was a fun little game.
It was a silly and over the top violent game, but it was bad to play. Its mechanics were bad. The machine
I didn't like the constant loading.
The constant loading, and it took a long time even on a modern computer, because I played it a couple of years ago on this rig, and the loading times were still bad.
Yep. Then they made a third game, which I
Was in
didn't play.
third
So
person.
the only thing I know about it is that there was a weapon. There was a angry badger, complete with a handle, and the studio denounced it. And when they made the expansion for the second game 10 years later, they played it as the entire third game was a hallucination.
But there's
Right.
one highly unique thing about Postal, and of any industry. Overwatch made a Postal game, and it was accurate to the source material. Or movie, yeah.
Movie.
Overwatch made a movie that was accurate to the source material.
Which is like, how is that possible? The guy, basically, his special ability is to fuck up everything that he touches. Like the crew that's employed on his sets are laughing at him behind his back.
Mm-hmm. But perfectly in that movie, he did have the perfect reaction set up for the movie. A group of angry video game fans attending a Overwatch conference murdered him. And Overwatch played himself in that scene.
Yep. At least you see how bad and terrible the Postal games were. That not even Overwatch could fuck it up.
Exactly.
And that makes the game good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I would almost want to be a fan of Overwatch just for his own self-awareness in that one movie.
almost.
Almost.
But yeah,
It's
go.
the best movie.
Well, I guess we just have to get him to make movies only about games that are senseless, full of violence, and have no real story, and make fun of themselves.
Overwatch should make a movie based on the Resident Evil movies.
Oh god, you know what? He should make a movie based on Sucker Punch. That's a movie too.
But yeah,
Because Sucker Punch was mostly a director slash cameraman masturbation.
Yep. Artrix, do you want to bring up a topic?
well, yeah, I was just gonna say that apologizing was the worst thing you could have done. Honestly,
Yes, obviously.
yeah.
Indeed. He should have done what Lotak or what Overwatch did. He should have threatened anyone who objected to his opinions to a fight in a boxing arena.
or better yet, just discard the opinions. Like, okay, you're allowed to say what you want, but I'm just not gonna care. This is my game, my vision. Fuck off.
Yeah, should have been like Notch. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too. But I'd still love to see more internet celebrities have boxing fights. Did you know that
I like Notch. He does not he's not trying to pretend that celebrities somehow have to be wholesome humans with high intellect and deep learning of the world.
Oh no,
he's just a fat guy who got money, and
Yep.
now he can shitpost on the internet all he wants.
that's the great thing about Notch right now, and it's amazing.
do you know what the great thing about Uwe Boll is? He actually made good on his threat to have a boxing match with a fan who criticized him.
And he won.
Yeah,
Well,
he
obviously,
did. He beat up Lotax from Something Awful.
Oh, wow.
Lotax, the owner of Something Awful.
Mhm,
He,
yes.
he
Obviously,
he went to
Uwe
actually
won
fought
because he
Uwe
used
Boll.
to be a boxer, so...
Yeah, and Lotax is just a fat internet forum administrator.
They don't do very well at boxing.
But I give
Honestly,
credit to both of them for actually going in that ring and doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, currently...
Maybe he's a fan of football. I'm going to meet him. He's going to touch me.
Yes, Sekele?
He's trying to say something?
Most of the SJWs I could take down in a boxing match.
Oh no, there's a few very big ones.
For you.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're big, if you know what I mean.
They're big. They wouldn't even feel your punches.
Yes, they throw a punch.
I don't know. Brianna could probably beat him up.
Well, the thing is, they don't even need to fight. They'll just walk at you slowly until you're against the wall and fall on you.
No, better yet, they just walk at you, and then you're pulled in by the gravitational pull.
Yep.
And then you're crushed.
What you can do is outrun them.
You need to run fast though before you get past the event
so
horizon.
Basically, you start briskly walking.
Oh yeah, most of the time you just need to power walk. You don't even have to run, just power walk.
Basically what you are saying is that I should fight them like the Flash.
Yes.
Hit and run over and over again.
Just,
Yeah. But
start running around them.
Yeah.
Just stay out of range, and you'll be grand. Also, what the fuck is going on? Did my internet's drop? Don't tell me. Well, it looks like that's the case because I only see myself right now, and oh, I'm still streaming. So I guess it's Discord fucking up. GG Discord. Good job. We'll just have to wait. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna sit here and draw Orisa. Which I haven't mentioned, by the way. In this episode, I'm drawing Orisa. She is, as a matter of fact, an Omnic. A female Omnic, who's female. Lady Omnic. Zenyatta X Orisa OTP. XMRady, that's retarded. Now we just wait for the call to return. Maybe we should just reconnect. Well, it's still trying to connect, so I think this is a problem on Discord's end. I'm still having a steady upstream to the Picarto servers. Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional podcast on the internet. Brought to you by Discord. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Oh god, this is bad. So, as for more topics, I guess, since it seems like the Discord is not going to work anytime soon, I can either just call it a night here, or try and bring up something else. But yeah, as for the situation with this game, you should have just you should have told them to suck it, because, you know, since the message of the game is, yeah, look, this is the future you're aiming for, and then you're basically just capitulating to this sort of nonsense. It doesn't really do your game much justice. And yes, now you reawaken GamerGate. Good job. Though I'm pretty sure these people aren't even that bothered that GamerGate's back, because this brings them the sweet clicks. So no problem there, I guess. And obviously there's Mario Odyssey. Kind of made me lukewarm about the Nintendo Switch. It's still not exactly the game that makes me go, okay, gonna go out and buy a Nintendo Switch. But it's shaping up to be a decent game. It's definitely turning out better than my initial reaction that I had when I saw the
well, now we are in
Oh!
Egypt, and we have a Falcon. And you know what else is in this game? And they might have added this into games before, because I really wasn't paying attention since the one about Ezio. Enemies apparently have hit points now. So, you know, the games where you just
Obviously.
where you came to a guy and stabbed him with your hidden blade and they just fucked off because you're an assassin and you don't have time. No. Unless it still works, like if you sneak up to them and then do the stab thing, they
Now
might
you'll
die
have
instantly.
protracted fist fights, of course, because that's what everyone wants. Dark
Yes.
Souls combat in
Yes,
all the
yes.
games.
So if you come in and start fighting them, you see there's a bar above their heads and the bar is getting smaller as you stab them. Very, very useful. And also apparently, and that's actually visible in the trailer, there are items. So you kill a guy and he has a bow, and now the bow has plus 43 damage. Your bow has only plus 27. So you can take his bow. Why do you need this? The game is about assassinating people. Come to a guy, stab him with the blade you have on your wrist. Saunter off.
Don't worry. In the new World War II COD game, you'll pick up different versions of the MP40, and they'll have stats as well. You know, of course, because you've got to put this in all the games.
MP40 of poison.
Poison MP40, MP40 of fire,
Ice bullets.
lightning rod bullets.
Well, yeah. So I mean, those are the things I didn't quite get. Like, why would you even display the health bars? Yeah, I think in the first one they did not die by one hit, but it wasn't really that necessary. You were like, yeah, okay, these guys are not armored. They're going to die in 2 hits. These guys are armored. I have to actually employ some strategy to get them because they are fucking armored. So I have to attack from the side or something. Well, now they just said hit points. And
In reality,
I guess that would be understandable, but I don't really get the stats on the items. You are an assassin. You have a target. You go, you kill, you go out. You don't need plus 43 on your bow. Why? It's a bow. You just point at the guy and shoot. And if you happen to hit him in the eye, he dead. If you happen to hit him not in the eye, he not dead. That balance is hard.
That's
Lungs.
some,
Then he's not dead, but severely incapacitated. But you know, bows.
that's
they
some
don't.
that's some high tier shit you got going on right there. You really need some advanced
Yeah.
science shit to understand that.
I need a bow of the exact same type, but one of them inexplicably does more damage. Indeed.
Anyway, we got about 10 minutes left, so let's bring one more topic before calling it a
Okay,
day.
I didn't finish. You know, the best part about the trailer was the guy in the trailer was fighting with the guards of the target. The target decided to run away, and then the guy who was playing shot an arrow at the target, and it was following him. There was a nice kill cam on the arrow, and then the target went down some stairs, and the arrow followed him. So the ancient kings of Egypt had homing arrows.
that's been a trend I've noticed in recent games as well. They're making aiming easy for everybody. I saw some gameplay of Sniper Elite 4 on some guy's Twitch stream, and the guy would put his gun sight over the enemy, and it wasn't actually over the enemy, but then a little box appeared on the enemy's head, and he pulled the trigger, and it got a headshot.
No.
Like, what just happened? Why in this game that's explicitly about snipering and understanding how sniper guns work is there magic auto aim that's making the bullets go to people's heads?
No, but the important thing about
filthy casuals ruin everything.
Yes. I think the important part to remember about that game is that they actually
The entire premise of the game is using sniping and it being semi-realistic.
Indeed, it was in the first one too. You had to count with stuff like distance and wind and shit.
Yeah.
Well, the important part is there's a X-ray cam that starts working when you kill the people, and the important thing is they actually modeled Hitler with one testicle.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Well, there's rumors that Hitler had only one testicle.
These are
But,
the
you know.
important questions, you know.
Yes. Well, he kind of got crispy, so they couldn't really check.
so the important thing about Sniper Elite is that you can get the X-ray shot of shooting off Hitler's one testicle.
Yes. I mean, why else would you play the game?
Well, Hitler's not going to be in new World War II games, obviously.
Well, no, he was a Nazi.
It's almost like
exactly.
it's almost like those liberals on that talk show with Bill Nye, and Bill Nye was going on about, yeah, let's go to fucking Mars and we're gonna do fucking awesome shit, and then the retarded liberals, opposed to normal liberals, are like, oh my god, I don't care, I don't care about water on Mars, I want, can have sex with it. I'm like, fuck's sake.
Even Bill Nye went for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it was before you did the whole gender is a spectrum thing, though. So keep that in mind.
Gender is a spectrum, just like autism.
Mm-hmm.
You're somewhere in the middle.
Anyway, do we actually have any topics you want to bring up, or did we cover just about anything? I think we actually did.
Do we talk about that insane
Oh, yeah,
liberal who
no.
strike?
That seems like a good one to go out on. So apparently, some dude was like, I don't like this Republican senator. So I'm gonna go and I'm going to take my gun and I'm gonna shoot him in the thigh, and it's gonna be peachy. Except it wasn't, because
It's gonna be impeachy, you mean?
I have a very important question. How far away was he, and how did he hit him in the thigh?
I don't know. I didn't really read up on the details. Maybe Sekele did.
It was on a baseball stadium.
So he probably shot him from across the stadium or something. Because I find it very hard to understand how anyone can miss someone that badly, hit them in the thigh when they're aiming for some kind of kill shot.
Well, I have one thing to say about this whole ordeal.
Oh my god.
In the past few months, we've seen this narrative where these mainstream media sites and publications are more or less condoning violence. You have fucking.
But only against the wrong people. Come on, Artrix. There are no wrong strategies, only wrong targets.
Fuck off, Jim Sterling. Anyways, oh no, that was Movie Bob, but yeah, there's this.
They're both fat.
That's true. So obviously we just have to get rid of all fat people, and that will make the world a better place. Anyway, so.
Oh, also, did I mention that we are suing EU for taking our guns?
Good.
Yes.
Probably. Good.
It's very good. We are suing EU for taking our guns. And EU is like, well, you should take some immigrants. Oh, you
Did
don't want
anyone
to
even notice that I think as of today, they abolished the roaming fees across the EU?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
but I didn't notice you are still in the call.
That's also true. Yeah, we can now just go to another EU country and just make a call and not be charged an arm and leg.
Well, apparently it's still going to cost us money because Czech providers are retarded. Anyway, EU is not very happy with us and Poland and Hungary not taking refugees, and they are going to be some very stern boards are going to be had, and maybe even courts. And Poland is like, yeah, fuck, bring it. And we are like, we are going to defend our stance. And Hungary is like, this is blackmail! Because Hungary. And I guess you are, either you are too small for them to notice, or you take some migrants sometimes. I don't know. Apparently we didn't do anything in over a year.
That's the thing. Slovakia strongly refused to take in any migrants, and we even sued the EU over the migrants.
Maybe that's why they are not mentioning it. Like, oh shit. Let's not talk about this. Maybe it's going to peter off. Yeah, we took 12 migrants out of like 2,700. We're like, well, you should take more. We're like, no. So
You
they
noticed
are now-
something kind of unusual is taking place right here? The EU is attempting to order what few EU countries still have arms to give up their arms,
it might be
while at
related
the
to
same
the.
time the EU is trying to build an army.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, we are suing them now, and the minister actually said that he's trying to figure out a way to put the guns into constitution because you can fuck it up so directly when it's in the constitution. And about the immigrants thing, apparently, except for everybody crying offense, we are prepared to sue that. And what are they going to do? Like, if we are not going to accept anybody, right? What can they do? They can stop giving us money, or they can tell us to pay them some money. We're like, we're just not going to pay the money. So they are going to stop giving us money and maybe even put some taxes on the trade. Well, then we can just leave and not pay any of that. I don't think
EU kick us out of the EU.
I don't think EU has much to gain here.
They really they have no bargaining power these days.
Yeah, I mean, it's EU and they are right now they are standing against three. Well, Hungary is not Slavic, but three mentally Slavic countries that just don't want to play by the rules and want free money. And if they don't get free money, why would they be in there?
But you see, free trade,
And the best part is that obviously we are the new, quote unquote, new countries that are not developed yet, and we should get all the money from the EU to be developed, and because we need all that help. So why
obviously,
why bother us with migrants? We are not developed enough to take them in. Come on.
Yeah, we need to build more motorways in your country.
Give money.
I still don't understand why the Irish Constitution was not amended to allow Irish people to have guns after we kicked the British out. Because that was a rule. That was an old English rule. It was like no Irishman is allowed to possess a pistol.
I guess IRA or something.
Yeah, because that's a rule of an oppressor. It should have been scrapped immediately. It should have been changed to every Irish person on the country must possess at least 12 fully automatic machines.
Yes.
Because it's the same thing as nuclear weapons. If you have nuclear weapons, people aren't likely to shoot you with nuclear weapons. If you have a machine gun, someone's not likely to mug you on the street.
Actually, I saw a nice photo. Don't know if they actually shot him, but there was a mugger in some shop in Murica. Well, and that photo showed him on the ground and 3 people pointing at him with guns.
The caption I saw on that photograph was mugger attempts to rob American shop. Gets shot by every American in the store or every customer in the shop.
Okay, so he actually got shot. Poor guy.
That's what it said. It was
This
like
guy on the floor and everybody around him has a gun pointing at it.
the picture was great. The picture had this like little skinny black guy behind the counter with his hands thrown up in the air, and then 4 guys having just shot him. It must have all went down in half a second.
This is how we fight crime.
I imagine it went down like this. Oi, give me the money! Bang, bang, bang!
And then Danny on the ground. GG.
America truly is the country of the free. There's nowhere else on the planet where that can happen.
See, this is why we don't want our guns taken away. I mean, even if they are going to pass legislation, well, people are just going to put them in their cellars and still keep the guns. Because why the fuck would we give people
See, the
guns?
great thing is,
They're ours.
the anti-gun lobbyists would say, but all those people with guns in that store were a danger to each other and everyone else. And all you'd have to do is simply look up the crime statistics of that country, try to find out, have any of these legal gun owners shot anyone before?
Yes. And
And
obviously,
if
there's
so,
the
in what situation? And you'd probably get a pretty solid answer to those people are probably not dangerous to society.
and there's the EU argument of, but terrorists use guns. We have to ban them.
The guns are already banned. The terrorists have them anyway. That does not compute.
That's curious, isn't it?
That's because
Very.
the EU works with the terrorists, of course.
Okay.
So fucking retarded. Speaking of people fighting terrorists, I read a story from a couple of weeks ago today about someone called Milwaukee Lion now.
Okay.
He was a football supporter who supported Milwaukee, or Milwaukee. I can't actually.
Oh, that guy. Yes, Millwall.
And
Indeed.
there was terrorists attacking London Bridge, and they went into a pub.
They do. That's like
and
a regular occurrence.
They ran into the pub waving machetes around, and they were yelling for Allah, for Islam, and he yelled, "I'm from Milwaukee," and beat them all up, and got stabbed several times, but he still beat them all up.
They lost interest.
They ran away after that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, standing up and fighting back against the terrorists is the best course of action for everyone involved.
You'll get
It only
stabbed,
takes-
but
Yeah, but it only
they're
takes
going to
one
be
person.
surprised.
It only takes one person to stop another person from doing anything retarded.
Yeah, I mean, there was the baker who smashed them with a basket or something,
Mhm.
and then he went to hide some people in his bakery, and was just yelling at his colleague, "Get me another basket," because he just wanted to smash another guy.
Yes. Using violence against these people is exactly what you should do. It is the safest course of action. I know that sounds counterintuitive. I know it sounds like attacking an armed terrorist with whatever you have seems like a bad idea, but it's not. It is the only good idea, because if you don't, he is probably going to kill you and the other people around you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
take
no,
whatever
honestly,
you have
if he
and
just has
hit
a knife, then you need a longer wooden stick.
Look, it doesn't matter. If he has a gun and you have one of those posts from queuing up in the line, whoever strikes first wins. And
yes.
then that might mean that you get to upgrade to an AK-47 for the other guy. Just like in Call of Duty.
Just like in my video games. With that, I'm going to lead into the
my
end of this
God.
episode, because we have been going on for quite some time.
Well,
Also-
maybe all the modern Call of Duties were not that bad. They were just preparing us for fighting terrorists.
Also, apparently, Beck thinks this episode is retarded, which is like saying...
Every episode is retarded.
Yeah, it's like saying...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
I'm
like
stating
saying...
the obvious.
It's like saying water's wet. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Radio Rothingham, the world's least professional. You know the drill. Like, favorite, subscribe, do all the good jazz. And see you guys next week for a new
And don't
episode.
forget to punch a Nazi. Just don't put them in video games.
Yeah, just do it. I mean, we have to, right? It's mandated by law now.
Yeah, punch a Nazi now.
Yeah. Of course, it's entirely up to you to decide what a Nazi is, but you should.
Obviously, the person you don't like. People who
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like are Nazis. Or would you like a Nazi, Artrix? You are a Nazi. I'm going to punch you.
Okay, well, I'll just punch back. I'm pretty sure that this will have
When you are a
no.
Nazi, you can punch me.
Anyway, like, favorite, subscribe to all the good, and see you next week. Whatevs. Bye bye.
Don't die.